Hello, my cabbages, and welcome back to another mapping video. This should be episode 17. I think last time I said 15, but it was actually 16. But episode 17, I don't know. Of WICSO, and I have something special for you guys. I realize that these two countries are very similar color. Special being I added names, but not any names, local names. So yeah, a lot of this is like things, and I would explain this. I think I might actually have an episode explaining this later that I'll make. But like Tokupoa, Wusapoa, Santarapoa, Tantagar, Chahe Popapatap, Kragarpoa, Sasusapagar, and also my favorite one, we got Gosapun Pusapoa. Gosapun Pusapoa. And Gograr Wugar Poa. I got a lot of names. Go Boa. Of course, not everything's named, but it's just kind of funny, all the names I have. And I might explain them later, I might not, but we'll see what happens. Yeah, so, fun thing to start out, a little bit of WICSO there, and stuff is going to be happening in this area. This area, out of all the kind of split up regions, has been mostly kind of fine, but the green team over here, dark green team, is kind of like, I want to land, so they're like, power, and they kind of start bullying, that's wrong color, kind of start bullying, this country, and start taking them, and they're like loose alliance, not really militarily, so they don't do much to stop it, and they don't want to like look bad, so they don't take the whole country, they just take like half the country. So now this kind of purple country is like, it now has an op, biggest op, but yeah, so basically new country here because they're in this area because kind of took it. Yep, so that happened there, and the green team kind of saying, kind of thinking, purple team looking scrumptious after, bright green team. So they decide to take a little bit of this purple team over here, and they're like, guys, please, can we not? I'm gonna stop them because they can't really, but like they kind of tighten their alliance, so actually, and then by getting invaded actually kind of helps them grow stronger together, because they're kind of like, hey, like if we, go to better, get a better army together and kind of like cooperate, maybe we can actually like survive longer. So, yay, good for them. And then also the Indigo team is like, because they kind of lost, war semi-recently. I say semi-recently, but like 5 episodes ago. So they're like, So, yeah, that's not looking good for them either, but they don't, take the whole thing. They kind of just have a little bit of, and also a little bit of this. They're kind of getting bullied, but now they're kind of like, okay, we really gotta, so they kind of align better because they're getting bullied. So yeah, not good for them, but also partially good. And kind of the gray team seeing this is like, these teams are honestly looking pretty long. So the gray team starts kind of like going over here. And this alliance is definitely stronger, partially because it's bigger, and also just, bigger and better, starts kind of to take them over, which actually, I was thinking, they don't even have a major city here. And kind of takes this area, which was like the area in the alliance, and it's kind of like, they kind of almost take it over. They're like, hey, guys, can we have some support here? And surprisingly, they actually do help, because they're a bit better into it. They're still not the best, but they're like, they kind of start helping them. And like, this is, working at first, but they're kind of like, the green team over here is kind of just not helping because they don't want to help. And they just kind of want to stay as powerful as they are. So they're kind of like, yo, what the fuck, green team? And, it's kind of ostracizes them a bit, like, not completely, but only partial, but, and the, like, orange gold team over here tries to, like, jump on that and be like, if they're, we don't like them as much, why not, kind of, and also they have the capital, so they're the strongest one, but kind of starts, like, ooh, I don't know if you would technically call this a civil war, because it's two different countries, so it's not technically a civil war, but, kind of a little mini war in this area, and kind of start taking over, which they weren't expecting at first, because they're the ones with the capital, they're supposed to be the strong ones, actually, maybe behind the dark gold team. It's, up to see who's stronger, but they're kind of winning, and they're like, whoa, 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 threatening capital here, hey, and the Pink King kind of seeing this opportunity, like, territorial IO, kind of, everybody gets in. I don't know, I keep on doing territorial IO references. I haven't done that much, but they kind of start to go over here and actually manage to cut their southern half off. And it's like, whoa, whoa, whoa. So the gold team's like, ooh, dark gold team's like, I like me some good land. So they kind of take over the land here. The orange gold team also kind of does one final push for this major city. And they manage to fortify their capital enough. Like, they kind of take around their capital and actually into their capital, because they can't really get into the capital because they have fortified it. So they allow the capital to kind of, stay like that, but it's not looking the best. And also this area out here, on the screen team, kind of rebels because they're kind of like, like leaf green color. They kind of, rebel because, well, they kind of get cut off, and their gold government wasn't really the best. So they're actually not actually in the alliance at all, which, how about they're seated, how about they take the capital over here. I'm not going to explain how they did that, how they just managed to take the capital. Let's just say out of sheer goodwill, which they would not, because it's kind of battleground area. But basically they get their capital, which is also kind of close to this area. But they're looking kind of weird. But yeah, so we gotta do nation here, and also protecting nation. So, yeah. I have not opened trade routes in a while. This trade route, let me redo this trade route real quick. So it used to be a 1 thick right here, but I think it's now back to a 2 thick because actually partially the gray team supporting the orange team, and also because, well, they lowered their taxes, so they get rewarded with having a little bit of thicker line for the trade route. So that goes well for them. Good for them. And also helps the nations around that. So they kind of have a little fork there. Goes in here, and then goes like that. So yeah, trade route repairing. The gray team is happy about this because they've also been like kind of at the end, or not only at the end, kind of turned into like a net because of old trade routes. And kind of what they do is they actually like help over here and help like over here because they want to increase trade in this area, and it has no immediate effect, but like the gray team basically is helping them, and they're kind of like, oh, I thought the gray team was kind of bad guys, dictatorship, but like so the orange team, especially over here, not the old government, this new government, is actually kind of likes the gray team, and as like, so actually the gray team's been slowly growing because they have the orange team, and now so 2 countries slowly growing, but they're both like decently powerful countries. And this dark blue team and lime team both feeling threatened by the gray team. What do you mean they're feeling threatened? What? No, because they actually technically already share capital. I gotta update provinces. Like, it's kind of weird because they have like a shared capital situation. They decide, because they originally split because 2 different branches, like split off, they decide to rejoin. So they're still different. Like, they basically, actually, let's go to our layer right here. Oh, they were a republic? I could have sworn I made them a monarchy. Well, actually, they were actually a monarchy the whole time. Why would they be a republic? I could have sworn I made them a monarchy. But, they basically form into a new type of monarchy called a diarchy. A diarchy is basically, instead of just rule of one, they have rule of two. So basically, like, kind of bluish purple here. Basically, two people rule at once. So the two different branches that Britain split up, since they're technically related, basically form like a diarchy. So they have two rulers, and only if both rulers agree, things happen. But also kind of makes it so they're worse at like diplomacy, because they kind of have to both agree to, a diplomatic situation. But overall, it makes them stronger. So Gray team has more formidable opponent. Like, I remember when this area had like 30 countries, and now it literally has 2. So a lot of consolidation happening here. And then we also have Florida country out here, settling away from all the islands. So that's gonna expand out through here. I mean, actually, I don't know why they really expand up here, because here's like the Everglades, so like swampy area. So I don't know why they're expanding into the swamps, but they are, so deal with it. Louisiana countries actually have been kind of funded, but not all of them funded equally, because they're kind of like just sent the funds and kind of left to deal with it, which actually kind of made things worse, because the nations are like, but I wanted more funds. But like, this team got more funds, but the big important nations, like, well, this white nation isn't the biggest, but it's technically the most important, because like it had the original capital, and has the most population. So like, they kind of got the most funds, and people are like, what? Why do you get the most funds? Like, they should have gotten the most funds. But like, so it kind of stirs up like, and like, well, this guy is corrupt, even though they're just kind of sour from not getting as much money, even though they still got money. So they're just kind of being whiny. Yep, they're being whiny. So the pink team especially is like, what do we want to be on top, and starts like attacking. Like, the hot pink team. Pink team kind of, the normal pink team being kind of, well, no, definitely the weakest out of all of them, starts also joining in, and so does the yellow team actually, but they're kind of like, whoa, guys. And kind of realize, tell the people why they're actually the strongest nation, why they got the most budget. So yeah. And the pink team kind of realizing, oh, we were foolish, immediately retreats, and there's no real peace treaties here, so they actually keep all their land, to the dismay of the white team. But hot pink team, yellow team eventually is like, okay, we retreat. Hot pink team's like, fine, we retreat. Yellow team's more okay, and hot pink team's like, fine. So yeah, I didn't go the best, but for the gray team kind of realized this, so they actually kind of focus more funds into the orange team over here. They actually explore a bit more out here. They're definitely grateful. No, they're definitely kind of allied. They're a lot more stable. Well, I say a lot more stable, just not a lot, but more stable, definitely. Also looking at religion map. But who really cares about that? So this area they kind of expand up into this area, growing a bit. They haven't grown in a while, so yeah, good for them growing. Just on a peninsula, and they're also kind of doing better economically wise, especially with the new partnership of the gray team. And they decided, because to kind of counter the Star Alliance, they were like, you know what, let's officially create an alliance. So this is just a purely defensive. The last alliance they made was a military, not purely last time they made is a military alliance. This is like partially defensive, but mostly just an economical alliance. So this is actually created with better intentions than the last one. And let's have the right-facing arrow alliance. What am I? That's weirdly specific. Not the right-facing arrow alliance is coming after you guys. So this, yeah, of course the orange team the cream orange team over here joins in, and this red team joins in, and because it's kind of like, it's kind of created as an opposition to this 4-point star team, even though the 4-point star team doesn't really have anything to do with this country over here, they kind of join tentatively, so, yeah, it's kind of like, 4-point star team is also, it's actually a bit more military, but also kind of partially economic, and they're kind of like, why did they want to join? But they're like, hey, more members, like, looks good on the transcript. Oh yeah, I completely forgot I had a conflict down here. But yeah, no, not really conflict, more members, and they're kind of just wishing for, oh yeah, technically they were allied. Let's just say before they fought, they actually both kind of dropped out. Yep, let's just say that. But yeah, no, Star Alliance also has a pink country over here, which is kind of weird, but really just a relic from the war. The big Great War, so still there though. And because of this, the gray team is kind of, cream orange team is kind of #1 op, if you know what I mean. They are created from part of the orange team. Oh. So they kind of, are like, and go over here, kind of go over there. So yeah, we got another Star Alliance member. So tensions are definitely, oh, that's the wrong layer. Tensions are definitely tightening. I think not that much. It's more like economic and all that, but still, it's not looking the best for Mexico over here. So yeah, and also, yeah, another Star Alliance member. Yeah, actually, let's just say they want to get out of conflict, so they don't join the Star Alliance yet. They're morally aligned to the Star Alliance, if you know what I mean. So like, if comes to it, then they will do it, but like, so they're morally aligned, but not actually aligned. So yeah, fun stuff. But I think that'll be all, and goodbye, my cabbages.